So, welcome to our meditation time. It is an honor to spend these few minutes with you, and it is an honor that you've chosen to spend them with yourself. It truly is something special that we stop the activity, we stop the busyness, and we decide that we're going to show up for ourselves. And so as you have done that, just allow your body just to relax where you are. Maybe your eyes start to close gently. And then I hope that you can begin to just, as you breathe nice and slow and deep, you can also feel what an honor it is to spend time with you. We give so much to so many other people, our attention, our time, our energy. But our meditation practice allows us to turn those things back in and cultivate this relationship, the one with us. And so just start to find you a good rhythm of breath, just gently drawing that deep inhale in through the belly, in through the lungs, up into the chest. And then just as gently letting it just pour out. And then again, breathing in slowly and gently. And then exhaling just as slowly, just as gently. A couple more like that, breathing in and breathing out. And inhaling and exhaling. And along this journey, there is something really special about the collective nature of meditation, but there is something just as special about the individual part of it. So this practice is designed to really unite us as humanity, knowing that while we are here joined together, there are groups all across this planet doing the same thing. But there are also individuals in their quiet time by themselves. And that gives me hope for this world, that there are people across this globe choosing to pause, nurture the relationship with themselves, and feel what an honor it is just to show up and breathe and be. And you are part of that. And so we've been on this journey the last few sessions together, looking at the pillars of joy. And so I want to just take us through several of these, just as this reminder or a review, because I think part of us understanding how to nurture these pillars in our life is that we recall them again and again. And the first pillar of joy is our perspective, how we see the world, how we see those little inconveniences of life, how we see our Mondays of our week, our perspective. It's a way to cultivate joy. Another pillar of joy is our humility, our ability to really see that we're part of something bigger and greater, but we still play a role in that, and it's a very humbling thing to think about. There's this surrendering of your heart, realizing that you are part of humanity, and that as you do good, others feel it in their lives. And then there is the pillar of humor, of learning to laugh, of learning to let things go that are not that important or that serious, and finding the humor, the smile, the ache in the side of your belly as you truly just let go and laugh. And then there's the pillar of acceptance, of truly accepting right how we are exactly right now, how we're seated, how we feel, how our day has been. There's the act of acceptance. And then the last time we were together, we looked at the pillar of forgiveness. And this idea that we hold on to things, and it actually robs us of our growth, of our freedom, of our lightness of spirit. And then today we move on to the next pillar, the sixth one, and it is one that I talk about a lot. And it's the pillar of gratitude. This pillar of being grateful. And it's not just a holiday in the year, and it's not just a time, but it is truly a way of being. And there's this quote that says that gratitude doesn't come because we're happy, but rather happiness comes because we are grateful. So just think about that. We don't get gratitude in our life because we're happy with how things are. First, we are grateful. And then happiness becomes a byproduct of that. And then eventually joy begins to manifest in our lives. And so I want you just to think for just a second right now. One thing today for which you're grateful. Just call to mind something that happened or some person that you interacted with or one little act. One thing that you're grateful for. And then, as you think about this day, recall a challenging moment. It could be little, it could be big. But just a moment that was not how you expected it. Or maybe someone hurt your feelings, or disappointed you, or made you mad. Just some moment of your day that was a little bit challenging. There's traffic. You're late. And then I would ask you, and I'm asking myself as well, with that challenging moment, what in that can you be grateful for? What's one little piece that you can find that you can be grateful for even in the challenge? That one's a little harder. We have to think a little longer. But even in the moments that are rough, the moments that are disappointing, we can find gratitude because it has nothing to do with the situation. It has to do with our spirit. Gratitude is not something that comes externally. It's not about our manners of saying thank you or physically showing appreciation. It is truly an expression of our spirit, deep down in the core of who we are. And so I'll ask each of us again, including myself, within that challenge today, what are you grateful for? I've shared before that for almost 3 years now, John and I have had a gratitude practice every night, and it's not been perfect, and there's been every now and then we would miss. But the last thing we do before we go to sleep at night was we have a journal next to the bed. And there's a K and there's a J on each date on the calendar, and we each say one thing, and we write it down. And then what I've done across these last 3 years is I've saved those journals. We're now on the third. And so we have this little stack of this physical representation of our gratitude. And so in my eyes, it's like this first little part of this pillar of joy. The more we are grateful, the more we nurture our joy. And then all of a sudden the challenging situations come and we're still grateful. People still disappoint us, and we're still grateful. Weather changes, and we don't always like it, but we are still grateful. And so let's just pause just for these next couple of minutes. And in the quiet, I would ask us each, just keep telling yourself, I'm grateful. You don't have to even name what it is, just I am grateful. And as those words just kind of start to resonate in your head and then eventually in your heart, in your being. Let's just see how things begin to shift. After just a couple minutes of doing it, see how each of us feels. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. Just let those words carry you into the quiet. If you lose sight of them, come right back. I am grateful. And as you continue to breathe, just release the words. Let the gratitude just sit within you. And I've often thought about the Dalai Lama when he created these 8 pillars of joy and why he chose the order that he did. And I've read many works by him, and every time they stay in the same order. And I think it's important that the first one he gave us was perspective. Because without the nurturing of our perspective, it would be really difficult for us to nurture our gratitude. Because he goes on to tell us that acceptance is just that, accepting your reality. Being here, being now, accepting this is how it is. But gratitude is when we learn to embrace our reality. Embrace it the same way you embrace someone you haven't seen in a long time and you just hug them in. What if we could do that for our reality right now? The parts that we like, the parts that we don't, the parts that we're unsure of. Gratitude, embracing our reality. So as we prepare to close our time, that's my challenge for each of us. When you pause, when you grow still, even just for a split second, for 2 or 3 breaths, just come back to those words. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Until all of a sudden you don't have to say the words because they just are part of you. And you have truly learned to begin to accept as well as embrace your reality. It is a gift that you'll give to yourself. It will help create lightness of being, and it will help to continue to nurture the perspective that we all need. I am grateful. Namaste.